this sort of confluence of different things that have led to us being as smart as we are.
Yeah.
We say it's very rare and to have happened at all.
Yeah, very unlikely.
Very unlikely.
Possibly, yeah.
But presumably it could happen twice in one biosphere.
Yeah, well, it is very unlikely, but it's not just totally random chance, of course.
No.
And the fact that we now have like an inventory of animals, like a shitload of animals on the planet that are pretty intelligent already.
I was about to say, is it now that it's happened once? Are we in a period of when, say, we disappeared and we weren't there to compete with them?
Oh yeah,
it's more likely that actually it would happen now than it ever has.
Yeah, I mean, if we suddenly disappeared, maybe there would be like.
It wouldn't take that long.
It wouldn't take that long, no, because you already have. You wouldn't need to evolve like a whole new like phylum of animals or whatever. Not a phylum, but like a whole other branch of animals, like mammals.
Yeah.
You've already got like
mammals can already do it essentially.
Yeah. And you've also got things that are mammals, like squids and cuttlefish and stuff like that.
Cuttlefish City.
Yeah. That are potentially Cuttlefish City. Can you imagine?
It's glowing. That would look cool.
It would look awesome.
It would be like all the signs would be like bioluminescent and.
Yeah. Or they travel around in like crazy like little tube. I'm imagining them travelling in like in Futurama.
The tubes.
Little tubes.
Particularly well designed for being sucked around to places. Yeah.
Maybe they already exist in the deep ocean.
It's like the abyss. It's like the abyss.
Spoiler alert.
Fuck.
Everyone's seen The Abyss. It's fine. It's an old movie. It's classic.
Or maybe put in like a frame or just like spoiler alert.
Yeah. Just bleep out that one little bit.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So you could potentially. Maybe you would get that evolution to be more likely now that it's happened once, and we're in the sort of situation where we have a dominant vertebrate species that is able to do that. But do you think we would ever let another species evolve? Do you think it's possible for two very civilization-building organisms to coexist on one planet?
Yeah.
Do you think they would always inevitably wipe each other out earlier in the evolutionary process?
That's a really. I mean, if you look back at what's happened here, it certainly seems like that's the case. I mean, we decimated all the other early human species like Neanderthals and like Homo erectus and Homo habilis and all the other stuff. I mean, it looks like we decimated them anyway. We probably
some of them I think are our ancestors, aren't they?
Yes, Homo habilis I think it is actually.
I can't remember, but anyway, whatever. There were competing.
Yeah, there were competing hominid groups, especially Neanderthals we were talking about earlier. Yeah. Like were around until relatively recently,
and we inbred with them and stuff.
Yeah. Which could be part of the reason that actually that they don't exist anymore. We sort of bred them out of existence.
Yes.
But anyway, so if you look back at what's happened here historically, it doesn't seem like you could have. It seems like once one becomes more successful than another, that would gradually just force the other one out of existence. But maybe if they were isolated a bit more in space, like in the oceans and on land. The problem is with it though is that now these things happen over such a long time scale that we would be observing. We'd be observing animals. We observe the biosphere, watch animal behaviour and stuff, and like chart it.
Yeah, so if it's going to take like millions of years for something to develop and evolve and become really like smart. So we'd have to be.
By that time, we are going to be.
Who knows?
Who knows what we're going to be? Like the Earth is just going to be bent to our will, basically. I mean, it already sort of is anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it is if we want it. Some parts of it, if we want it.
Yeah.
In terms of our like domain over other species. Apart from like certain like types of bacteria and stuff, that certain like microorganisms that we still kind of don't really have much control over. There isn't a species that we couldn't just decide to wipe out. Pretty much, in terms of like vertebrates or whatever. Yeah,
and we certainly might make more of an effort to like conserve the natural world, but that's going to probably likely be through like partitioning and keeping like nature reserves, rather than stopping development, stopping energy production, or any of these kind of things that impact like the planet on a large scale. We're probably just going to have like reserves of nature that we keep, like pristine, and like observe and study and stuff. So
if we started seeing something evolving that was intelligent, like we were saying squids earlier, and they start like I don't know, someone's dropped a load of Lego in there and they start building like little houses for themselves or whatever. We aren't gonna try like, right, they're getting smart, bomb them.
No, we'll love it. We'll love it. I don't think we'll intentionally stop it. I'm just trying to work out if it's actually like possible whether just like our
the
presence on the planet is enough to stop it happening. I think you're right. I think we would love it. We'd be like, this is awesome. Like, let's keep watching what happens. Like, are they going to start like building huts and like, I don't know, like start praising the big octopus god of
yeah. No, yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah,
the big octopus god.
Yeah, they start like.
But they have like turned to a cargo cult where stuff's like falling in the ocean.
Yeah,
and they're like, you know.
But that's the thing. They'd probably be aware of us.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thought.
But so in that context, if we were like a benevolent kind of civilization that wanted, then we would just let it evolve. Surely, it's never going to be it's never really going to be a threat to us. And if it's
unless it's much more quick and is in development than us,
possibly, and it might catch us up. But like technology-wise, we'll probably have AIs and stuff. Like we won't really worry about it catching up with us. It's more the fact that we would be able to teach it to integrate with us.
Yes, and that's actually now like really piqued my interest because it reminds me of the culture books.
Right. The Ian M. Banks.
Yeah, the Ian M. Banks the culture novels, and just the concept in that. It's not just in those books, but it's this concept of like civilization mentoring. So like much more advanced civilizations either openly or covertly interfering with the development of less developed civilizations to kind of push them in a certain direction or help them out or whatever, like steer them away from killing themselves or stuff like that.
Yeah, I think
so maybe we would sort of be a bit like that. It's hard to know, really.
Yeah, I think we would leave.
But the thing is, these things happen so slowly.
Yeah.
So slowly that, I mean, it would have to get quite far down the line before we even notice it was happening.
I think I think that in that situation, it would probably be okay and you might get it. But in terms of, you wouldn't get a co-evolution like on land, say, of two. You might get a co-evolution of two sort of evolutionary intelligence arms race kind of species, but one of them would wipe the other out. I think or suppress it to the point where it's no longer relevant. In the same way that the dinosaurs suppressed the mammals for a while, and then mammals like in terms of like, because our influence, a civilization building organism's influence on the global biosphere is too great for it to allow other like truly competitive
exactly
species to exist. So
like
mammals suppress, dinosaur type, like, they're just birds now essentially. They fill ecological niches, but largely are dominated by the vertebrates are dominated by mammals.
Sure,
generally.
I agree.
So possibly there's two situations there where maybe you could have it if you had like a benevolent, highly matured civilization building organism. You might be able to, over a very long period of time, it might let some sort of evolution happen.
Yes.
And watch it.
Maybe.
The other one is, they're both evolving together. One of them is probably going to wipe the other out.
One of them is probably going to wipe the other out, yeah. Because they're both, I mean, the trait that they're both evolving is this ability to sort of manipulate their environment. And one of them's ultimately going to be better at the other.
Yeah.
And the one that's better at it will just inevitably outcompete the other one.
Although if they're quite similar and able to interbreed, then maybe you'd get some sort of just amalgamation of them.
And actually the human genome's got a shitload of Neanderthal
like
DNA in it. So we have that certainly has happened in the history of us.